I was trying to think of it the whole time, but you're giving me early Michael Beach vibes right now.
Look,
yeah, I think it's the mustache.
I got the shorts to go with it.
Yes.
I'm loving this whole get up.
I love it.
I love Vacay Jerrell. I really do. I'd be living vicariously through him.
Like, I'm always doing the most. I be doing the
you
most.
You do, and I'm
Vacay.
No, this photo is everything. This is an album cover right there. Like book cover, album cover.
Yeah.
Anything.
Second you said.
Hey, aunties, it's Shana.
And Kris.
From Bad Queers Podcast. What's brewing today?
Introducing Bad Queers Podcast.
Our queer Black Pride Matters.
Ask your aunties. I don't like women's no more. So get your cups ready for Minority Report.
Well, hello. Welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Jerrell.
Auntie Dwan.
And Auntea Jerrell.
And Auntie Jerrell over there living his best porn stash life. That's all I know.
No.
If I don't talk about nothing else, it's going to be about this porn stash. And where you at right now, Jerrell, by the way?
She is in the beautiful sunny Palm Springs right now.
I'm jealous.
Yes.
Damn. And living your best little Kim life too. That damn picture, bitch. so
that's literally what I was given. Honestly,
oh
that's literally what I thought about when I took that photo.
First we'll bring in our guest aunties, and then we're gonna talk about this damn picture. and we'll put it up so our guests also see what picture we're talking about. But in the meantime, we have two amazing guest aunties, and whoever wants to go first, what's your auntie name?
I'll go first. This is Kris, one half of the Bad Queers Podcast. My auntie name is Blue Motorcycle. I asked the co-host before if they knew it, but if you don't, it's like a Long Island iced tea, some other kind of more fruity flavors. Definitely was big when I was like out in the gay DMV scene. It was like, give me a Blue Motorcycle. The first time I had it, I didn't know it was like a Long Island iced tea. So
you got extra lit.
Yeah, right. I was like on the third one, like keep bringing them.
She was already doing the jock. She was doing the jock on the dance floor and everything.
Exactly. Set the scene. Set the scene.
Vroom. Okay, and then what's your guest auntie name?
Yes. Hey, everyone. This is Shana, and my guest auntie name is Auntie Mimi, short for Mimosa, because, you put it in, you see what you're getting. It starts a little sweet at the start, but then who knows what's going to happen after a few rounds.
Woo, that's the truth. You have a whole emancipation. The whole emancipation of Mimi.
I was like, she knows. Right. She knows.
Ow. And you're literally fresh back from vacay.
I am fresh from those mimosas that lasted all day and all nights because I was just in Vegas where the rules were made up and the points did not matter whatsoever. Whatsoever. People were out, mask on, mask off at the same pace that pants were on and off. Like that was how it felt the whole time I was there.
Vegas is back then.
Vegas never stopped. They had the signs ready as soon as the CDC said, "Oh, you can take your mask off." I feel like they had them sitting in the back, ready to go. It was out of control.
Let's just dust this off real quick. They still good. We ready.
I was like, nobody was losing any money in that venue. Absolutely not.
I don't even know the last time I've been in Vegas. It's probably been like a good 5 years.
That's a good reason.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
My sister has been in Vegas probably 4 times already this year.
Shut up. Really?
That's one way to do it. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Not vaccinated or anything. Just
like everybody else there.
Living your life. Living your life.
I guess so. Damn. But Jerrell, how's Palm Springs treating you, boo?
Oh, girl, she's hot. She is hot. But it's cute though. She have, a little photo shoot here and there.
All right, let me pull up this picture
to bring
so
out the coat.
Right. I know you said it's hot, but you had a little Kim coat on.
And nothing else.
Right.
Let me tell you, I bought that coat just for these photos.
Look at that picture.
Wait, that was your coat?
Yeah, I bought that coat just for this photo.
Prepared. That was how you chose your Airbnb. You were like, I can.
It's perfect though.
Pages, and I was like, oh yeah, this is going to happen. Absolutely. Bought heels just for it and everything.
Where'd you find heels at?
You know, huh?
Where'd you find heels at?
I got them on Amazon. Not D. Sherelle. D. Charlene.
I'm gonna forever call her D. Sherelle.
But I got it off of Amazon. Yeah. So it was cute.
ready.
And it's funny because like my sister is like my same size. So like once I'm done with it, I'm just putting it in the mail. And I'm like, here you go, sister. You got a cute coat and some shoes.
And those were like that had some inches on them, the heels.
Girl, yes, they do. Okay.
Did you walk around the pool in them, or did you just like
I
put
sure
them off
did.
with a photo?
Wow.
Oh, I got some more, content coming soon. Some videos, giving you a little pageant twirl, the T ankles. Come on now.
She here ready. All I know is when we in PV, if we don't have a little photo shoot, I'm gonna be a little pissed off. So
girl, what's gonna happen.
So anyway, I'm jealous of your Palm Springs life, and I'm jealous of this Vegas life too, because I'm ready to get out. Even though I just got back from vacay myself, I'm ready to get back out. It's like that vaccine life. It's just like you like shit. I stayed in the crib all this time. Let me get out this damn crib now. But all right, Bad Queers Podcast. How did Bad Queers Podcast, and happy year anniversary, by the way.
Hey,
I did see that. Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. How did it come about?
Oh, Shana, you got to tell this story with your persistence.
It was a persistent action that I had been working on. So I used to work at the Her app, which is the connection of the podcast, is like the official Her app podcast.
Nice.
And our CEO, for about a year, I had just been in her ear about starting a podcast. I was like, this is the future. People are doing it. We need to get started. We need to get ahead of the game. And she was not about it. And then a few months into that year of pestering, Chris started working at Her. And it was one of the best things ever, because the podcast just kind of set itself up, because we were actually in office sitting next to each other. So it was me, Chris, and then our boss was on the other side. And every afternoon we would get into random discussions. It was either debating a topic, something that we saw on like news or entertainment, or what happened at the award show last night. Did you watch this show last night? And it happened almost at like a witching hour of every afternoon post lunch.
Love it.
That I would sit and just be like, Chris, did you see that link I sent you? Did you see this last night? What did you think about this? And
she's over here tapping her on the shoulder,
right,
like,
exactly.
Right on time. That's like how close we sat next to each other. And so it started these discussions that our whole office would listen to every afternoon, because there was only 12 of us total. And as that happened, that was when the L Word Generation Q came out as well. And that final episode, they had Roxanne Gay on, and Alice had her on the show, and they were talking about Alice's hot mess of a dating life. And she stopped and turned to Roxanne and was like, does that make me a bad queer? And I stopped and said, boss, like, I have the idea, I have the plan, and I know who else is going to run it with me, and it's going to be Chris, based off of our conversation. Mind you, Chris had not said yes to any of this. I just signed her up and said that this is going to work.
I just started here.
This is what we're doing.
It's like, I'm still trying to find where the bathrooms at. Like,
Right.
I'm still in my 90-day trial.
Exactly. Like, especially during some of the afternoons, like I'm like legit trying to get work done, and she's just talking, and I was like, girl. Like, and then we'll just go. I mean, it's really the best work culture I've had. So it was all cool, but like I was just new. So I was like, girl, we can talk about this later offline. Like,
no, it was job security is what I was providing to make sure that kept going. So I was looking out. But that after that, we were able to pitch it with Chris on, then a few months later, we a discussion order and how we wanted to do it, did a ton of research, which also included listening to you all, and figured out putting things together, and we got it launched. And yeah, we just had our year recently, which is crazy to think that our podcast was born into a world that was just full of COVID, and still is, and it has not seen a day yet that is outside of COVID.
That is so true. And that's hard to do, because like to start a podcast ago. Like, but then I guess maybe in the flip side, it maybe kept you a little sane too. That's what at least what we found. It's just like, oh well, at least we know every Wednesday when we record. Hey boo, how you doing? How you feeling?
Helped you keep track of the days. Yeah, no, it was definitely therapeutic through everything because we started, right in April. So that was before everything went down, and just like, yeah, it's been a hell of a year for sure. Just being able to have that outlet. So, and yeah, it's just fun. It's something to look forward to.
Were you hesitant at first to because since she was pestering you, were you like, I don't want to tell all my business? Or were you like, you know what, once I'm on board, I'm on board?
Yeah, I wanted to see how it would go. It's, there's, I love podcasts, but I was like, it's pretty saturated out there. So like, what are we bringing to it and stuff like that. But yeah, once we tested out a couple of episodes and, had friends listen and everything, it was like, okay, we got something. So yeah, no, once we tested it out, it was like, okay, yeah, let's just keep going.
Love it. What's one thing that you've learned, I guess, during COVID podcasting that you weren't even ready that you were going to learn throughout it? Something you're like, oh damn, that's a life lesson or something like that you're like, I did not foresee this at all.
Ooh, that's a good one. Right? That's a good deep one. I think for me, first off, I'm introverted at heart, and last year was the most extroverted year. We did online events for her, so separate from the podcast, I was doing like a lot of online events. Like we had over 300 last year, which was insane.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, Chris did that. It was a very social calendar for having to sit at home.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it helped. Definitely helped find my voice. I think I'll be more extroverted when it comes to work things and all that. So yeah, I think it helped me find my voice a little bit. It definitely was an outlet. Like I mentioned, I think for all of us, it was hard to find a therapist last year if you didn't already have a therapist before COVID. So it did replace that. And I think also sometimes like, just making sure you get some of those feelings and opinions out there. Like it resonates with somebody. It's like, most of our podcasts are conversations and everything. So it's capturing what we would have already talked about, something I would have wanted to, talk about with somebody else. So yeah, hopefully that answers it, but that's what I got from it last year.
It was absolutely a beautiful thing to see us going out. And I think when we first started, we definitely did sound a bit more rigid and a bit more scripted, as you do when you do something new. And as we started to get into the flow of the conversation and change some things around, we had a moment where I think both of us kind of came into it at the same time to remember that we were just on here shooting the shit and just talking as we would. And to hear people resonate with it so quickly and actually feel seen with it so quickly, that we had some amazing people who jumped on the wagon early to be fans of the podcast and stuck with us and believed in us. And they are some of the people who I still look for their comments every time we make a post, because I know they're going to be the ones that say something. And I'm like, this happened within a couple of months of us launching. This is amazing to hear other people just hear us shooting the shit and they just agree or have something to say in response and now are driving conversation in a new way. I didn't realize how impactful that would be. And my job day to day is running community. I understand the impact of words and how you're speaking it and what you're putting on social media and how that goes, but to actually be doing it yourself as yourself brand, and like our logo is each of us and people are resonating with those things, I think that's probably been the coolest to see continue to grow.
Love that. And it's just interesting to like, because I've noticed you guys from the beginning and everything like that. I'm like, okay, let me check in and make sure they're doing all right, And I love to like the episode, like our friends over at Gayish, the episode that you were on there about scissoring. And I'm like, that is fucking hilarious.
When they sent us that email, I stopped and said, oh, we are due. I think we scheduled that in less than a week because we said we have many things to say about this. Let's go. We're talking about it.
I really didn't know that people didn't like really think like scissoring is like a real thing. Like I was like, nah, it's like the golden tool or the golden gun you'll pull out. Honestly, you don't use it a lot, but when you do and you get it right, like it is it. So
okay,
that was a great discussion. Yeah.
Right. It's like, let me pull that out my tool belt. I know that's right.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a solid educational moment for a lot of people. I got so many texts after that episode and said, no, this is real. Like all of my gay guy friends were like, we just thought that was a joke. And I'm like, no, it's the best
like a
cardio
figment, I know.
you will ever have. That's what that is.
I was one of them too. In community, if you don't know, scissoring. Explain scissoring. Explain scissoring for us.
After you, Chris.
What do we say? It's a team building exercise. No. I mean, it kind of is. Right, it's a trust exercise done from time to time. You pull it out for nice things. You know, it's like almost like holidays, or like I said, just you don't pull it out all the time. But it is literally when you're able to lock up vagina to vagina, in this specific case, it is magical. Like it's rubbing, it's magical. They asked us what sound it makes. Shana, I forgot what sound you said it makes, but it was like spot on. It was like, no, I know it was something.
I know it was so
funny.
spot on. I can't even remember off the top of my head, but it's almost like making, like if WAP had a sound, that's basically what the sound is as you're doing it. And that's like the rhythm. That's like how, because honestly, it's hard to go fast in that position too. It is. Depending on how it goes. But yeah, you split, turn to the side, insert with caution, and then work together for maximum
orgasm.
Work this pussy.
It's amazing.
Like,
and it's like one of the only moves where obviously
that's it.
swapping juices like directly. So like once you get it right, it is like right for you both. Like, it is all good.
I'm here for that. Okay.
Corel, you got the rhythm, because that's literally the speed that it's going. Between those two songs, that is the speed that you are going.
My mind automatically went to my neck, my back, my vagina, and your crack.
My vagina and your crack, Lord Jesus.
That's the remix that they didn't release.
Right.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for it.
That was take one. They left that one on the floor. Oh man, but yeah, that was a great episode. So like, I have a question. So like, obviously we're all part of the queer community, and specifically the Black queer community.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is, especially going into like Pride Month now, something you think specifically in the Black community that we need to work on and pay attention to going into Pride season this year?
Ooh,
as a Black queer community.
Yeah. This one's an interesting one, because I think I asked it before, but just to back up, I've never had any problems like out and about with like gay Black men, but it wasn't until I moved to the Bay Area that like it was like a thing where it's like, they were like, we can't go to a like Black lesbian party, or we can't be there. And it's just like this awkwardness with it. Whereas, back East in the DMV or Virginia, where I grew up, it was like we all party together as Black queer folks. So I don't know if that's still a thing, and y'all could chime in and let me know if you've had any experiences, but I hope we could dead that. Like, we need to be able to party together as a community, to come together as a community. I don't want any more territorialness in the club, no toxic masculinity from anybody, regardless of gender. No shaming, outfit shaming. Like, just come together. It should be all love now. Like, we should know, like, we're literally all we have. So yeah, no classism. That comes out a lot in our community. So yeah, those things. Look, just a short list of things.
Right. Just a short
all of those things.
Notes.
I don't got much, but
Yeah. Like all these things.
If you just want to take these into action,
yeah,
we appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine is around the recognition of more intersectional identities. I think we end up falling into that trope of, if you're a gay man, especially around like gay Black men, for some, there's not like a recognition of others. I still think there's a threat around like gay men and trans women. I don't feel like there's a lot of support there. I want to see more speaking up and speaking out. And as Chris was saying, being within each other's spaces and just being there like as fam, and being able to just celebrate and party and be happy together in more safe spaces. I also want us to be able to create more safe spaces for Black and brown people that we can just go and be there for each other. Out here in the Bay, we do have a couple of parties that are for mainly toward like Black and brown women, queer women. And some of the parties that we have also that just highlight Black and brown queer people in general, those are some of the best parties with the best vibes, because those people have set it up to have a culture of understanding that if you do any of the lists that Chris just mentioned, you're out and you're not coming back. And you need that essence of safety. And I think us as a community, especially as a Black queer community, need to be better at looking out for each other in those spaces, and not just like limiting it to spaces that are created for us by us, but also when we're out in other spaces and actually just stepping up for each other quickly and efficiently, and making sure that you're consistently supporting each other. I think that's what I would like to see.
Here for that. What do you think of Dewan?
I don't know. I'm a little I'm a little complex or perplexed about, you know, why we still feel the need to be so segregated. You know, I just don't understand it. And you know, as the world, particularly as we know it in the United States, starts to open up more, and you know, people are getting out and about, and these activities that's supposed to celebrate, you know, our community and start to happen, it is a little disappointing that we just haven't, that we as marginalized communities continue to perpetuate the, you know, the divide within our own communities. You know, we see it as, you know, as people part of the Black community, you know, this whole idea of, you know, those notions of, you know, what economic class you come from, what part of town you come from, if you're from the north, the south, the east, the west, if you're effeminate, if you're not, if you're this, if you're that, you know, like, and then we obviously see it in the queer community, the LGBTQ plus, and I'm using queer kind of collectively, in that way. So I tend to agree. You know, I would love to see just more breaking down the walls of like what separates us, and just much more openness and celebration of like what makes each individual different, you know, and celebrating that. That's where my head's going.
What do you think, Jerrell?
Honestly, I agree with all of you. You know, I would love for us to, you know, come together more in the same reasons. But I would also like to see more, what's the words I'm looking for? I can't help but think about like our Black trans women. You know, like when I think about Pride, like I think of like I want for there to be a space for Black trans women, and I want them to be in the forefront. Like I'm ready for, like, I'm ready to help bring them up with everyone else, and I would love to see that for Pride this year. And like I say every year, I just want Black people to be seen for who we are in all aspects of what we can be and what we could be. You know, so that's what I'm looking for Pride.
Yeah. I think you all nailed it, because it's just like, again, as we gear up to the Pride month, and obviously, you know, last year we had kind of maybe like virtual prides and things like that. But now as we're getting out and about, I'm already starting to see some of the same history of like, it's just the white gay man with the six pack. And I mean, like, okay, your body looks cute, coolio, but how are we still not seeing the rest of the community? And it's just still like, doing it. Right. And so it's just like, especially after a year we had last year with like Black Lives Matter and things like that, personally, and living here in Atlanta, is just like, how can we just continue to put our own damn selves in the forefront and be like, it is what it is. We here, bitch, you know? Right. Because it's just like, I just don't get how I'm seeing all these IG posts and these posters around town. I'm like, time out. Hold on. Like, Houseway, how are we still here? Like, we didn't learn anything in the last year that we need to come together. So like, I just wanted to hear everyone else's else's perspective, because I'm like, am I tripping? Like,
nah, you ain't tripping.
It's like, is this shit still the same? And then even within our own communities, like you said, like the segregation within our own POC communities, I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, that's tired. That's so tired.
As we're talking about this, I would love to see, like, if I could wave a magic wand that had limited powers. Because, I mean, there's a lot that would want to make happen. But I would love to see Black institutions, Black queer institutions, and POC queer institutions, whether that's, you know, entertainment, it's restaurants, it's whatever. I would love to see this be the year that they just continue to blow up. Like last year, there was a concerted effort with Black Lives Matter to buy Black, a very concerted effort, you know, and you know, now more than ever, we have people within the Black community, especially people within the Black queer community, that are moving closer to a space of independence from like the mindset of, oh, I've got to work my 9 to 5 or whatever. It's like, no, I can have multiple streams of income, and what I'm working towards is not to be rich. I'm working towards building generational wealth. And that's a very, very different kind of mindset, because what that means is we're setting up community. And we're reinvesting in our community, and we're keeping dollars that otherwise would be going to other communities in our communities, which allows our communities to grow. You know, the last time that this happened, you know, it was called Black Wall Street, and you know, they came and burned that shit down. You know, but try it today. Try it today. we slapping Karens, you know, we slamming people into the ground. You see these videos, they don't want to mess with us. So my little like half wand that I'm gonna wave is like, I want to see more of that. I want to see, like, I don't think that we'll ever get to, and at least anytime soon, we'll get to a place where of full integration in all spaces. And you know, there's you know, pros and cons around that. But the notion that the LGBT community has to be predicated and faced with white people, right? And have whiteness be the forefront of that, those days are numbered. You know, we see so much, because of all the hard work that a lot of our community has been doing. We are seeing more and more representation on television. We're seeing kudos to Apple. I saw they had I forget exactly what the video was about. I was just like floored and in awe, because they had a lesbian couple just laying in bed talking about, I don't know, something.
New MacBook Pro like, that I want.
I don't know what the ad was about, but I was like, go ahead, show them lesbians in bed together. Like, right. No, like innocuous, like could they be roommates? Could they be, you know? No, these chicks were laying up in bed talking.
They just got done scissoring.
They boozed. Exactly.
Yeah, and she's asking, one of them is asking for a MacBook Pro, which if it went right,
they're probably
gonna get it.
She put it down to get that MacBook Pro. I know that's right, bitch.
And I am now convinced, and you will be having this. You're welcome.
But like, I love seeing that. You know, I love seeing how Calvin. There was a meme that's been circulating this week, where they showed a Calvin Klein ad from 2009 and 2019, showing the difference. You know, having, you know, a wafy white female cisgender model on, and then in 2009, and you know, in 2019, having a plus size, you know, woman of color who is, you know, I don't know what her identity is in terms of sexuality, etc., but you can tell that she, you know, had an alternative, you know, expression. And so to see those kinds of representations is really powerful. I would love for our spaces to start, you know, being the epicenter. You know, to be the epicenter. It's no longer like there's this big party, you know, that's, you know, filled with a bunch of white people and just a handful of black people, you know, that's the big thing. It's like, no, there's this multicultural party that's thrown by so-and-so, you know, black coalition of rainbow people. We all invited, and it's going to be lit.com, you know, and that's where people want to be. That's the party that people want to get into. Like, I would love to see that.
That would be awesome. I like that, because there's definitely in San Francisco, there's no like really good black queer party that's like every year you can consistently count on. And I feel like if we took it out of like maybe the city level, and you just had this a coalition where you did have the different cities kind of through their own party for people of color, like that could be great, because that's really all we want and need. I mean, look,
That part.
if nothing, the music will be great. So we can guarantee that. You know?
I mean, we need to. Okay, I'm gonna put this out there in the universe. Universe, you do with this what you will. Please don't squash it, but just put it in the right hands.
Yes.
Black History Month is in February. We need to co-opt that month and have all the southern states band together and have a series of their own like pride events that are specifically geared towards Black people, Black queers.
Like
Wouldn't
a black
that
picnic?
be hot?
Ooh.
Through the whole South.
Before I let go. Sponsored by Frankie Beverly and the Maze.
Right, exactly.
I know that's right.
awesome.
Wouldn't that be lit? Like everybody from the
So
north
cool.
is like, I got to get out of this cold. Where are we going? We going to the queer Nick.
Can you imagine?
We're going to the Queer Nick in Mobile, Alabama. It's about to be lit as
so
an
funny.
MF. Like, come on now.
I'm here for it.
I want a queer Nick. I want a queer Nick.
Okay, let's just go around the room and let's just name off what would be the food trucks that you would see at the Queer Nick.
Slutty vegan here from Atlanta.
Yeah, oh, you took sleeping. Oh, for sure. Whatever. Somebody's like wet wings, like wet or dried wings, but definitely wet, just because it's it's with the vent. It's hot out.
And
Like,
the number one flavor is gonna be lemon pepper.
Yep, lemon pepper. Like, wing truck is just
Yeah,
the
the
line
wing truck has to be there, along with like some sort of either like lobster or like crab type
Something seafood.
rolls,
Something
or
seafood.
mac and
Yeah.
cheese, and all of it. It's just all has to be something seafood, Cajun something has to be in there.
What do you think, Jerrell? I know them lips over there just moisturizing, thinking about this stuff.
I'm not thinking about this food because I buy a pool, so she gotta wait until after she leave the pool to eat. No, but I would love like a chicken and waffles food truck though, or like Shana was saying, like a mac and cheese food truck.
good.
I would love to see.
Keep the raisins at the Costco. Keep the raisins at the Costco.
Oh God.
Right. She don't belong here. I would love to see like a red Kool-Aid and and a red velvet cake.
Ooh,
Truck.
Oh,
yes.
Ooh.
Get them two
Yeah,
and
the
that's
dessert
it.
truck would
I
be-
was just talking about this with a friend where I said, what if somebody hosted one of those nights where it was all our childhood drinks as mixed drinks? But it's, even with Kool-Aid, you never said the flavor. You didn't go up and say,
Sure,
I
it was a
want a
grape
grape
drink.
Kool-Aid.
What
So if
flavor
I
was
come
it?
up and I'm
Purple.
like, I want purple drink.
Yeah.
And the purple drink comes with some sort of liquor. I want the red drink. I want the blue drink. And you know that you're getting the Kool-Aid mixed with whatever liquor that you need. And that's something that I need.
See, we
somebody
need to
do.
make this happen.
See,
We tripping. Let's
We just made the
make
whole
this happen.
plan.
Let's
The
get
whole
this
plan.
together.
right
This,
here.
this concept is the intellectual property of bad,
Right.
bad queer podcasts
Exactly.
and minorietyreport.com. If you want
Exactly.
to actualize this, you want to get in on this, or you want to
funny.
co-opt this, please get in touch with us.
Oh, that's right.
Like, we'll
We
leave
will-
the emails
we will
in the
make that happen.
description. Thank you. Thank you.
But if you try to do it on your own, we will sue you.
That part. That part. I know we gotta get like the performances and everything. Come on, Riri, where you at? You
Ooh.
and ASAP
Oh,
Rocky.
Okay, yeah, who gonna perform? Sisqo.
Oh,
Oh
no.
yes.
Oh, we're
Look,
gonna have
I'm here
Sisqo?
for it. I'm here for
I
it.
would.
I'm here for Cisco.
It's the opening act.
My
Right there.
life is incomplete.
Underrated. A legend.
That means
I
we all
remember
gotta
being
dye our
this young
hair
and
too.
just being like, oh my
Right.
God,
Right,
his
right.
hair.
I would dye my
Imagine.
hair. I would dye it.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
that platinum one, looking like the
Yeah.
Tin Man. That is true. People forget how big Sisqo got, though.
Huge.
Look at that girl, so scandalous.
Come on now.
Ugh.
Like, you
'Cause that
can still
whole-
spit off that whole verse.
That whole
In your
verse.
sleep.
Come on now.
You came through the 90s, you can spit off that entire verse in your sleep, no matter
Come
how
on
long
now.
it's been
Oh,
since
wow.
you heard it.
Right.
So
Hey,
good.
mommy, don't you know like it when I come in, baby? But it's like-
Always has some
Watch-
damn dragons. A lot of dragons.
everybody-
The dragons, yes, the
Dragons
damn
everywhere.
dragons.
Unleash
I love
the
that. I was like,
dragons.
do I love Unleash? Like,
You
a
stop
lot
and
of
you don't-
dragons.
That
And
would
he
be a
couldn't even
dope
do the
Halloween
dragons
costume.
today. They would
Wouldn't
tell him
it?
that he was appropriating. You couldn't do that today.
Yeah,
Right.
they'd
Right.
have to be like, eh.
You're right.
You're right.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's like,
Which I
when the last
mean-
time you been over there? What you appropriate, Sisqo? Sit your ass down.
God bless him.
Oh damn!
I love our culture. I love it.
Absolutely.
So many jams.
But real quick, you hear ASAP Rocky and Rihanna together? Rihanna. It's been
Rihanna's my girl.
It's been trending all on Twitter today that
I
they
just
finally
love
kind of admitting
that the article that I found about it was like, so Rihanna and ASAP Rocky told us what we all knew, that they're officially together.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, okay. But I love the part about all of this that I love is the fact that it's once again not Rihanna telling us anything.
Never Rihanna.
It's somebody else saying something and him going in and being all sappy and whatever else. Like, she's the one. She is it. I'm thinking about children with her. I'm thinking about all this. I'm like, that's right. You go out here
Rihanna
and say
put it down.
How in love you are with her and let her not say shit about it.
Yeah, the comments were like, she's everybody's love of their life. Like,
right.
What are you talking
tell us
about?
Something we don't know. Like, you didn't win anything.
Like, what did she say about that?
Until she says this, you are not in the running yet.
She got that Erykah Badu voodoo.
Yeah. Yes. That's
what she
exactly
got.
It.
That's what she got. Because Erykah Badu did the same thing. Erykah Badu never said
and
nothing.
Stayed low. And stayed low.
That
stayed
part.
low too.
Yeah, they went crazy afterwards. She had that catnip.
She does. Look at her list. Look at the list.
Seriously.
The list is undeniable.
Andre 3000, Common, and Jay Electronica never been the same.
Never.
Listen.
Never been the same about that.
So beware, ASAP. Beware.
I'm like, all right, y'all. Yeah, they've been friends though for a while. Like it's something. It's not surprising and all that. True. I mean, it's like, girl, I guess, but she's happy. Then
that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if this speeds up an album for us, then sure. But she's still not going to admit it on there. I mean, if he's really going to do anything good of admitting this, can you encourage her
confirm the album too
as well?
Right.
Go ahead and pop that mix of you two. Pull a Jay-Z Beyonce, do a song together. Let's go.
I hear you. And I feel like the more we ask her, the more she's like, fuck you guys, you ain't getting shit. You gonna get some more makeup. She's gonna get some more makeup and lingerie.
She gave that Amorphous audio so that he could make that mix with Fat Joe. And she was like, here, I'll even pay for it. Like, you're welcome. Give the people something so they can leave me alone. Okay, here's an insight into my little love life.
Right.
Whatever. She's doing the Beyonce sprinkle. Just giving us enough.
Yeah.
Giving us enough to stay relevant, stay cool, know that she's still around doing things, and then
Beyonce's starting to post a little more though. So
yes, we know. Yes, we know.
We'll see.
Nobody's posted any photos of her with the laptop yet. So until I get photos of her with the laptop, I want to hear nothing. I want to hear nothing until I get the photos of her with the laptop, and that's all that matters.
That same MacBook Pro from like 2007.
Yep. Yeah. The gold that is on that MacBook. She has a team of engineers keeping it running even better.
Right. You're like, Beyonce, we could just get another one. No.
Absolutely not.
That's it.
It's been good to me.
This the one.
Do you not want to work here? You could go. You could go.
I gotta choose. I'm gonna choose this MacBook over
here. Right. Every day.
I know that's right. Well, all right. I think it's time to get into it. So what time is it? Ask your auntie.
Come on, little harmony.
I know.
DC3, baby. DC3. Right. All right. Who has it?
I was like, but who's who though? Who's who is the question.
Well, Jerrell always be saying he said he beat Michelle. He don't care. We all have our moments. It depends
I feel like I'm the Michelle though. I feel like I'm the Michelle of the group because can't sing, she can't dance, she meaning me, by the way.
I was about to say, you just shaded the shit out of Michelle.
Oh my God.
Everybody who's listening is like, yeah, you're right. Me. Okay.
I mean, we talking about the similarities, are we not?
Oh, Jesus.
She can't remember not one lyric.
And you're slender like Michelle. You're just most slender.
Yeah.
But I guess Kelly's slender though too. Yeah, but yeah, who knows?
Every time I think about her, never mind.
Oh, leave Michelle alone. Leave Michelle alone.
I remember when she tried to do that booty pop against the wall.
Oh, and lose my breath.
Leave. If you can't make me say ooh.
Oh no.
Got a bit of this.
I lose my breath. Don't bring up to lose my breath.
Let me tell you, that win fan was working overtime.
She doesn't do anything where she's like.
Oh, leave Michelle alone.
Gave 100% to the motion.
She did. She did.
Yeah.
They were like, we are on a timeline. We got to record this overnight.
And she prayed, and she prayed before doing it. She's got that close relationship with Jesus Christ, her personal Savior, and the Holy Ghost, and she prayed right before it. But the Lord said, "You ain't got the goods."
And then meanwhile, Beyonce is just slaying the hell out that video. To this day, that's one of my favorite outfits and looks Beyonce's ever had. Where she had that little at the end, she had the little fur throw or whatever on, and her hips were like. Woo, 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 woo.
Every part of her was moving like a snake. I was
like, how? Oh, I think that was the moment where I knew, even though it was probably before that, but I really knew I was in love with Beyonce. I was like, this bitch. Like, there's no
it didn't
other.
Take that long.
No, because I had that first album the slow jam of no, not the Wyclef Jean, not the remix, not the Clubs Bump This New remix, right? Okay. Anyway, we all asked you, Auntie. We can talk about Beyonce all day.
Right.
So, ask your Auntie question.
All right,
says,
here it is. Oh, you got to go for it.
Oh, okay. Hey, Aunties, I've been dating this girl for almost 2 years. We lived together, and she used to make me really happy. A couple of months ago, I started questioning my sexuality, and then it says in quotes, I knew I was bi, but I was starting to not be attracted to women. Ever since then, I rarely have sex with my girlfriend, and we barely cuddle. I am just not attracted to women anymore, and I don't know how to tell my girlfriend that and break up. Help. So we're gonna let the guests on start this one.
Yeah. Woof. So
what a reverse homecoming.
What a reverse homecoming. So 2 years, so that's about 14. And if one of these years included Corona, then that's 10 years alone. So that's a long time to be together.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. You would know. Are you not attracted to women anymore, or this particular woman? I do want to know that. That's
the question.
Because if
you don't need
are
to give up on a whole gender just because you don't like this one.
That's the only thing. I'm like, wait a minute.
That's real commitment.
I'm not attracted to women anymore. I was like, well, what did she do? That's one person. So not all of us. I think that's gonna be interesting. You're gonna have to break up with her because you don't want to be with her. Which is pretty clear in this message. So I mean, being honest is going to be the best thing, I guess. If you feel comfortable with coming out, I think that's an important thing to disclose with this. And I mean, if she was, hopefully y'all had a good friendship before, she should respect that. If you stay in this and just continue to kind of fuck this up and just slowly let it kind of wilt, that's going to be even worse than y'all having this conversation. She's going to feel how she feels, but she'll respect that you were honest at least. And that's all you really owe her. Y'all ain't married. So yeah.
Even if they were.
Yeah.
That also facts. Also facts. Yeah. I feel, if y'all have stopped cuddling and stopped doing things that you've normally done, I think your partner is probably aware that something is up. So if you think that you're being casually sneaky about this fact and using this as an excuse to say, I can't see into myself and the actions that I've done, or the fact that really I've just lost feelings for you. So I'm going to say that, no, actually, I'm just straight again. Just a born again straight. Sorry. That's what I'm gonna do. Nah, girl, just admit to the fact that you don't like her and then continue on your journey. I mean, if you're not bi anymore, then cool, congratulations, do you. But if this is your excuse to not own up to your behaviors, which I feel like it sounds like this is a scapegoat for you to say, this is why I'm getting out of this relationship with this person, instead of saying, hey, I'm an adult and I've lost feelings for this person, so I no longer want to be in a relationship with them. So just go and do that, like the adult that you are.
Yeah, you got to be an adult about this. Like, either way, just let her know, like, you're not attracted to her, like, regardless of the reason. If you don't want to disclose, like, it sounds pretty dead. So y'all should, for the sake of both of y'all, not waste any more time.
I agree.
What do you think of Jerrell?
First off, is this a woman? Answer this question. As a woman. I just want to make sure, because that's what I thought. At first, I thought it was a guy. And then I'm rereading it. I think it might be a woman who is with another woman in a relationship with another woman. But
that's how I took it.
Questioning being bi and maybe becoming straight, right?
That's how I took it.
Okay. Like she said, like Chris said, break up with her. I mean,
break up with your girlfriend.
Right. Because I'm bored.
Summertime.
Right. But no, I mean, for real, like, honestly, you're just wasting time. Like, I mean, and time is the most precious thing that we cannot get back. And you're missing out on being able to be your most authentic self and live your best life. So have that honest conversation with yourself, and then have that honest conversation with your girlfriend, and move on. Because guess what? If you don't want her, there's somebody else out there that want her, and she deserves to be happy too. So you holding her back and holding yourself back. I don't get it. Look, go ahead and free yourself.
Right, come on, Fantasia. I know that's right.
And you know the girlfriend feels you're pulling back too. She is blasting Fantasia right now.
Right.
The girlfriend feels all the songs. Playlist is crazy right now.
I'll be in my playlist right after this.
Deep cuts, okay?
And you know she got the windows down extra low at the red light, so everybody in the neighborhood know what she feeling.
Lots of cleaning.
Direct eye
Lots of cleaning. Yep. I'm fine. Like a lot of I know the vibes. I know it. Like, I need to stop.
Fantasia.
That's like a whole level of like.
Jerrell, I'm so mad at you for that.
Fantasia. You really hurt.
Yeah.
You really
so hurt.
Right.
So hurt.
Let her play it and move on.
Duan, what you think, boo?
The only thing that I would say is don't make it. When you decide to have this conversation, two pieces of advice. One, don't use an excuse like a fight as a reason to break up. Like, just, like some of the others said, like, just bone up, put your big underwear on, your big pants on, and have a real ass conversation and just admit how you're feeling. And the other piece of advice is don't make it about them. Because this is not about what they're doing or not doing. This isn't about them. It isn't about a breakdown on their side and they're not meeting your needs. It's that your priorities, your wants, your needs have changed. So make it about you, because the last thing that you want to do, the last thing that I would want anything to happen for the both of you is, for you to absolve yourself of any accountability and responsibility in the context of this relationship by putting the blame on them as the reason why you're breaking up. So that would be my advice.
Ooh, that's a word.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a word. I was thinking the same thing. I was just like, don't break up in a petty ass way. Like, because the way this is written is a little petty.
All I hear is
they even started off by saying, I've been dating this girl for almost 2 years.
Right.
We live together. Like, that's not dating a girl.
Right.
Yeah. That's not just dating a girl.
Right.
You have a whole girlfriend that you live with.
Whole
live in guilt.
Right.
You have
you are
splitting
bills.
Right.
It's involved. You've bought plants and shit together. Like, no.
Went to IKEA, spent all day at fucking IKEA. No,
hung up stuff together. I feed
shared
you
Netflix
feed me.
Passwords, all that.
I know where to find. I know how to log into your phone.
That part.
Information.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's the whole relationship.
So, like, I feel like in a way you're almost mad at yourself for prolonging this, and it's coming across just like very like passive aggressive in a way. So it's just like, I agree with Dewan. Just like put your big pants on and get it done with, because like everyone said, you're not benefiting anyone at this point. You're not benefiting yourself, you're not benefiting her, and now you're making up a narrative potentially that's not even really there. You're just doing something to find some excuse to justify it in your damn head, which is, you don't have to do all that. Just say, you know what, the season has run its course.
It's not working out.
Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. A lot of times, a lot of people kind of do this, and I mean, I've been guilty of it too. It's just like, you do it because you don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation. I get that. I get that spirit. But the longer you wait, if you get to 3-4 years, it's not going to get any easier. It's not going to get any easier. So you might as well have you a little hot girl summer, let her have a little hot girl summer, and it is what it is. Get out of it. But don't do it in a way, like Dewan said, that you're trying to place blame on her, because it's about you, boo, and your feelings and lack thereof. So, ooh, that one's been sitting in there actually for a little bit though. So I don't know when this happened. So hopefully they broke it up, because we were waiting for the right guest to do this one. We're like, damn, what do you even fucking say to that one?
It's very much giving we're not making love no more.
Yeah.
So more Sisqo, more Jerrell and everything. But it is.
Damn.
She's trying to back out into this. She's like, we don't even cuddle.
Right. We don't even cuddle.
Like, all right.
It's like, you do realize that the other person knows that y'all are not cuddling.
But even then, like, that being at the top of the list, I mean, I know, like, obviously that might be that person's love language, but we don't even cuddle.
Like, she don't even cook me fried chicken no more.
Right, exactly.
It's like, what the fuck?
And it honestly, it low key makes me wonder, like, was there already somebody on the side? You know, because usually those kinds of like justifications and those kind of like disassociations, like, you know, oh yeah, I used to see, you know, I'm kind of sort of, you know, like in a relationship and dating, you know, this person that I know that we just happen to live with, like use all these like disassociative language as a way to ease your own guilt, because you've been already doing some dirty shit with somebody else, and you know what I mean? I'm not saying that that's what's happening, but
I mean, it does say she used to make me really happy. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, you might suck too. Like,
it's like, step your game up. Damn.
Yeah. It might have been trash too, but we're like, well, we hope you're okay. Look, God bless.
Hope that this person listens while their friends are in the room and just pans the room to see what their friends' facial reactions are. Because that's going to be the tell. Like, yes, we could be 5 strangers that tell you and read you on a podcast, but listen to this episode with friends in the room and see what their faces are. And if they do not seem surprised, then
they already had a conversation at the brunch that you didn't make it to. That's what happened.
Right.
It's like,
ain't seen you in 2 years. Friends ain't seen you in 2 years.
And you're over there mad and petty.
Right. Hey, y'all, trying to check in.
Right. And sorry, community member, whoever sent this in, like, we're not trying to trash you, but
yeah, we love you.
But continue to listen, leave us a review. I don't know, but but honestly, at the end of the day, you gotta put your big pants on and tell her. So, but continue to send your Ask Your Auntie questions to aya@minorietyreport.com, or DM us or text us if you're a friend, whatever it may be. But we love having your questions, so continue to send them in.
And let us know how this situation shaked out, or will shake out if it hasn't already shooken itself out.
And any other Ask Your Auntie, we haven't gotten an update in a while. So anyone listening, and you heard your question read, send us an update. Come on now, so we could maybe read you some more. I don't know.
Look.
They don't want to send an update because they're like, they be talking about me on that podcast.
They do it for the closure.
They don't be taking our advice. They still, you know, do the same old tricks that they've been using before. Right. And then they found themselves in another situation, and they don't want to write us another Ask Your Auntie question because it's like, oh, it's from them again.
It's like, so your life is spiraling.
Look, it'll be this person. It'll be like, well, somehow I find myself in a situation. I'm dating this guy for the last
somehow
year, for the last year, and you know, they're just not making me happy anymore. And
we don't cuddle.
Right. That line. We don't just have to look for that line of like, we don't cuddle anymore. And it's like, well, same person.
Like,
also, the starting it off
learn.
by somehow I got here is like, no, you know how you got here.
Right.
I don't know how this happened. Somehow. No, you know. Like, you know what happened.
You know. That's funny. All right, before I forget, it's the manager name game time.
Yes. Oh
manager name game. So for the guests, real quick, even though Jerrell's like, why you tell this every single time? Because there might be
We
new
told
listeners.
them we were not going.
There might be new listeners.
Okay.
Long story short, wore a nasty pig hat. Manager and I had a Zoom in our one-on-one. She asked, what is this brand? And I didn't want to tell her it was Nasty Pig. And I didn't know how to escape it, but somehow escaped it. So now Dewan and Jerrell are trying to guess the name of my manager. So what do you have, Dewan? What's your guess this week?
All right. Well, we have 3 weeks that we have to catch up on. So I have 3 names.
I'm going to give it 1.
Okay.
Name number 1 is Tina.
Okay.
Name number 2 is Anne.
Okay.
I hope I haven't said any of these before. I know I haven't said the last one. The last one is Glenda.
Glenda. Okay.
Glenda is such a manager
rich.
name.
That's very specific. That is very specific.
That's all Glenda does is manage.
That's all she do.
Don't it sound like somebody who would be like, tell me a little bit more about that hat. What is that symbol on there? What's going on? Well, you know, what's the name of the website? I would love to look that up.
Like, can you just move closer to the screen? Just come a little closer.
Right. And here's the funny thing is, like, because a lot of times, like, our one-on-ones, like, early in the morning. And sometimes, especially in COVID, I'm like, oh, I'll shower at lunchtime because I'm sleeping literally to, like, the last second. So I've specifically not worn a Nasty Pig hat since then. I have like a Central Michigan hat or something else besides that brand, so she doesn't continue to ask about it. Like today, like I didn't shower until literally after work, and like so like usually my hair's already crazy, but like in the morning it's like extra wild, and so I'll just okay, let me throw a cap on. Literally had a Nasty Pig on. One-on-one, I was like, oh shit, I got a one-on-one with my manager. Took it off, put a different hat on today. It's so sad. Okay, Jerrell, what you got? What's the name?
I'm going with Lisa.
Lisa
or Sherry.
Mm-hmm.
Sherry. She said, I got one.
Sherry just got a manager.
Okay, you got room for one more? Come on now. They rolling off the tongue now.
Right.
I don't know. Carol.
Okay. All right. Well, community, we'll continue to ask you. And who do you think is going to actually win this by the end of the year? Is it Dewan? Is it Jerrell? I feel like once I finally reveal the name, it's going to be so like anticlimactic. They're going to be like, you went down like the whole fucking baby book. Like,
wait, Carell, can we guess?
Yes.
Yes.
I was like, has anybody said? I was like, has anybody said Shoshana? Shoshana.
No one has. No one said that one.
Teresa.
Teresa.
And then I want to say Miriam. Miriam is a.
Come on with the 3-syllable names.
Yeah,
right.
It said because that person
ones.
sounds extra. Yeah.
Okay.
I got. Okay, so I have no idea if any of these names have been said or not, but I'm gonna say Deborah.
Deborah's a good one.
Laura. It's all the us. That's I've had so many because it's like Deborah, she goes by Debbie, or Deborah, and like Laura goes by Lori or Laura, like one of the two, and then Amanda as last one.
Got another one.
Right, got all the us.
Yeah, those are the ones. Like literally, majority of my managers have had that. Even my manager now is one of the like the Lori off of that, and so I'm like, it's just fitting.
They be the nosy ones. Be like, mind your damn business. This ain't got nothing to do with my one-on-one today. Oh man. So I know the aunties haven't watched Pose yet, but the guest aunties have. So we'll maybe do a little generalization of this week's episode. And they call themselves the official Pose podcast right now because they recap each episode. So and I might just have to join you for this episode because I like this episode.
Yes,
this was a good one.
Like,
it was so good.
It makes you realize. how can I say this? It makes you realize that there's, and we've said it before, there's certain people that can act, and there's certain people that you're like, okay, they it is what it is, but we love them nonetheless.
Ooh.
And I feel like this episode showed you that some people act a little better and can pull out maybe a little more emotions within, at least within myself. So I'm interested to see how you all felt emotionally.
So what did Electra do or not do in this case?
Well, she wasn't in the episode. That's what she did.
Oh, okay.
But I love her nonetheless. Like, I love that character and I love that actress, like, even more.
That's so funny. I just saw that take today too about like Electra, and I was like, you know what? I never thought of that. I was like, no, I don't know. I always thought she was good, but I was like, oh, I guess if I looked hard at it, maybe I don't know. Anyways, this episode
is kind of like from my pinky or from my thumb to like my forefinger.
Yeah,
the range is like it's pretty tight.
I feel like her scenes are all pretty much the same because they're looking for kind of the one-liner or the the couple of lines that are just like really good. Obviously all the sass and attitude. Y'all didn't see the trunk episode, right?
That was her best episode.
That was her best. Yeah. And that I was like, when put in the right situation, I think she could be fine. But they always write her to just be, this like sassy, like the best line, or like, oh my God, did she say that? Like the lines are good, but I could see that. I could see people saying like, yeah, the range is very limited. It's limited. But no, this episode was good. It's Black church episode. So when I saw the preview for it, I was like, oh, we are going home. We're all going home. So,
and we literally went home with like Jack A. Harry's in it. We have Anna Marie Horford from like Friday and Dee from Wayans Brother. And we got Aunt Viv.
She's
in
an amen
too.
We had the original Aunt Viv.
The
original Aunt Viv.
OG Aunt Viv?
The OG.
The only
I know what I'm watching tonight. Forget it. I'm going to break down. I said I was just going to binge it all, but now I got to watch it because I got to support my girl
together. They were in there together.
Yes. All three of those legends.
Like they had the audacity to go in and pan and just be like, "Hello, everyone," and you're like,
right. My heart so full. I was like, real fast. My God.
Hello.
I was like, "Where's Cheryl Lee Ralph at? I know she's in here somewhere."
I didn't know. Look, I thought Carell, like it would be just like that. Like, who else is here? Like,
right? Like they just had like this surprise episode where they got some budget.
They brought out all the girlfriends. They brought out everybody from Living Single.
Right. That's what I thought. I thought the whole church. I thought it was gonna be a whole church of them.
But yeah, that was a good episode.
The episode is basically just showing how Pray Tell has come to be, without trying to spoil it for you too.
Oh, so it was his backstory. So they did Electra's backstory.
Yeah,
they're doing his backstory now.
Yeah. It's a lot of backstory this season.
So they took us 10 years into the future just to take us 20 years in the past. Okay, got you.
Yes.
Yeah. I got you, Ryan Murphy.
They knew they only had one season left. They had to tie a bunch of things together that you say, and you're like, oh, yeah, this happened, or this happened, and this is still happening. Yeah. But it was definitely an episode where, especially with his recent news coming out about his HIV status, it's literally an episode of life meeting art. And vice versa.
It was powerful.
And to read that story, I was just of all of the suppression and what happened and what his family life was like. And I stopped and I was like, oh, did we just put this in a script? Did he plan for that? Did any of the cast know about it beforehand? And to know that they really didn't know about his status, and still to have this episode line up so closely. And in the Hollywood Reporter article where he discusses his history with being in the church and not disclosing and feeling ashamed and feeling like he couldn't say anything to family, and that he kept taking roles that so simulated his life and didn't realize the trauma responses that he was having because of this, because of how much he compartmentalized and how much he was able to just like push it to the side and keep those feelings deep down, and then to have to be able to like come out and do all of that. And it's very similar to what's happening in the episode. Was just I looked at that and said, you didn't write this
right
episode, because it lines up too well with with just his life story too. And I can only imagine what it's like to have to act that out and feel so emotionally attached to that experience, even if it is just in a character.
I couldn't imagine either. And because I watched it today, actually, the episode. And so I've watched it with this new lens of his news. And for community, if you haven't heard, Billy Porter, who plays Pray Tell on Pose, revealed that he was HIV positive. And so like you said, like just now watching it with that knowledge and just knowing, like as an actor, you have to take after take after take, you know, that heaviness of it, and you haven't revealed it at that time. That's that. Okay, kudos to Billy Porter, because that's a lot. That's a lot, especially if he's already okay with himself and having to go back into that mental space of it, you know? So that was part there. I was like, woo. But there's just a lot in this episode. Like one thing I will spoil, it's cool to see Black men kissing on screen. And from like childhood kissing and like grown ass men kissing. And I don't think I've ever seen that visual to that extent of the way how they did it in my life. And I was like,
are you talking about like kissing in a sexual way or in an affectionate kind of way? Like
in an affectionate kind of way.
In like a family kind of like,
well, not family, like lover, but like I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's just like because obviously it's a backstory. So his initial first kiss is when he was a kid. And just so see the two Black boys kissing, having almost like their first kiss kind of moment that you always see with like a straight couple, like, oh, my little junior high kiss. To see that, I was like, whoa, I don't think I've ever seen this on screen like this before.
And without like shame following.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the cool part. Like, obviously we, it tells more of that story, but there was none of that immediate, oh, we kissed, we either maybe got handsy or whatever else it was. And then the next day acted like nothing happened. And that person goes back to being closeted and popular and all of this stuff. And with that, there wasn't that. And it was really awesome to be able to see that as a story be told.
Absolutely. Like, so like little 12-year-old Carell was just like, whoa, like it stirred something in me that like I didn't know needed to be stirred up, and didn't realize I had not seen that before. But the second half, I'm like, whoa, that is fucking powerful. So I can't wait to hear, like, we might have to revisit this conversation with Auntea Jerrell too in the future once you see it, because I want to know your reaction to that. And then also seeing them as grown men, same kind of like affection of a kiss with the guy from Scandal, by the way, who's handsome as hell.
The cast for this was amazing.
Yeah, they spent some coin on this episode.
Yeah, they did.
OG Viv. That
OG
Viv. Threw me off.
Me too.
I'm so happy for her. So happy for her.
But all I can say too is, come on, Sopranos. Sopranos was hitting some notes in this episode too. Come on, Sopranos. But community, if you haven't watched it, and if you haven't watched Pose, we try to talk about this every episode as well. So catch up. Auntea Jerrell, catch up with the community.
Okay.
I'll catch up. I'll do it this week.
Oh man, what else is out there? What else is going on? Let's see here. I know I had a list of just random stuff.
Naomi Campbell just announced her baby earlier this week.
In the cutest way.
Yeah. So that's
so
like kudos to her, because she's, a woman of a particular age, and what is she like? I think she's like 51. 51.
She's 50 because they just did like a photo shoot for her 50th birthday around that, and how she was discussing that she wasn't retiring. She was like, I may be relaxing a bit more, but I'm not retiring. Don't know why you think
I still look good, bitch.
Certain age. Right. I said, y'all gotta stop sleeping on, Black women don't age. Like, get out of here.
And she was looking nice and thick too. She posted that video of her walking. I was like, look at them cakes, girl, and that jumpsuit. She looked good. I was like,
it does.
Damn. But I didn't even know that she had like a surrogate. Like, I didn't even know. All of a sudden I saw the post. I was like, oh my God. Go ahead, girl. Congratulations.
It seemed like a bunch of her friends didn't know either, because they were hopping in there like, oh my God,
I was reading the comments too.
Nobody.
Wait, what?
We had like 3 people who knew, and everybody else thought that they were in that circle, and then realized
that they were in that circle.
Were not.
Couple things was revealed.
Like back in the MySpace days when you had to like force rank your friends and you only had your top 5, you know, it's like, oh, if you didn't make it in somebody's top 5,
right? Some designer.
Then you had them in your 5. It was
right. I know Naomi just lost a couple jobs because there's a couple designers in their feelings right now. Tom Ford's like, bitch, you ain't tell me.
I'm happy for her though. Like, yeah, I'm just, you know, again, I remember when we were growing up, there was just all the Naomi like abuse and phone stuff, like her being this like angry Black woman and everything. And I'm just like glad, at least in the last like 10, 15 years, like it's completely different. And you could see her for who she is. And she's also just a good humanitarian. Like, I just think that she was like painted so specifically when we were growing up. And she's great. Like, shout out to Naomi Campbell.
Isn't like I love the paradigm shift that's happening in 2 ways. One, kind of what you were talking about in terms of like the angry Black woman, you know, like there are so many people who throw hissy fits and they call them rock stars, but
right.
You know, when a Black person does it, you know, they're a menace to society, you know? You know, I do love that there's the turnabout happening there, but then more importantly, this notion that I think it's really important that especially Black people see other individuals who, you know, don't necessarily see that they have to default to having a child themselves, you know, and put themselves in danger. You know, if carrying a child is not something that you are able to do or willing to do, that you have options. And I think within our community, sometimes we have to see it in order for it to be okay. You know, I go back to like, you know, this notion of therapy, right? And you have somebody like Charlemagne Lagarde who talks openly, candidly, frequently about going to therapy, him personally, right? And having no shame around that. And, you know, with the reach that has, it opens the door for people to more fully embrace the notion of going to therapy without shame and handling their mental health, even though the concept has been around for, you know, for literally decades. So I love that for, you know, for folks who perhaps can't or are not interested in carrying a child, that they see that you too can, you know, be blessed with, you know, with an addition to your family, you know, without necessarily having to go through that same experience. There are options available to you.
Absolutely. Would you like, because since she is 50, I in a way love seeing someone older, and obviously we've seen like even like someone like Andy Cohen or Anderson Cooper being older and having kids. I also like seeing older folks saying, no, you know what, like it's okay to still have a family at whatever point in life as well, you know, because I think exactly. So that's just something even in my head, because sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I'm getting a little older. If like I go back and forth if I want kids personally, things like that. But I'm like, you know what? Okay, Naomi's 15 years older than I am or whatever. I got time. You know?
No, I'm trying to dunk on my kids. I can't be
right.
You gotta keep them knees. You gotta keep them knees lubricated. Okay. Then
you saw that squat in that photo. Knees are fine.
Right. Sturdy, you still got the Megan Thee Stallion knees. Oh man! And then also Demi Lovato came out as non-binary this week, so
good for her.
Demi Lovato is having a year of revelation.
Right? Yeah.
Full year of revelation.
God, I need to stop that. They work on my damn pronouns that quick. Sheesh. But I agree.
No, good for them. I mean, I kind of saw it coming. I've been a big Demi fan for the longest time, and even when they came out as, I think, bisexual at first, because they had mentioned like being, you know, attracted to women as well. So I was like, it's only a matter of time as I've like start watching the documentaries and stuff like that about her. I follow her. I'm a big fan of them, so I'm happy for her. Good for them.
And they be singing.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
although some songs, I'll be like, "Oh, girl, bring it down just a little bit."
Just one,
like, you
right?
Be yelling,
right.
You be screaming.
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm right here, girl. I'm right here." You don't.
She got that Christina Aguilera spirit.
There's a couple that are in that camp of screamers. You know, that they scream through the songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it happens. And then also we heard this week that they're not pressing any charges or putting any charges for the Andrew Brown Jr. murder, which is infuriating to say the least. Especially it's just like right when, like, you know, the last trial, you're like, maybe there's a ball rolling a little bit. And then that same day we saw someone get murdered. And then now, since then, another person get murdered and no charges now. It's just like, we got to continue to fight. So
it's going to be interesting when the video is released. Elizabeth City is like 20 minutes outside of my hometown. So like, I'm not really surprised that this happened. I know that even today or yesterday, it came out that there's a Black city councilman for Elizabeth City who caught this police officer who was uniformed urinating on his funeral home that he owns twice from his Ring camera. So like, they've asked the DA to, you know, recuse himself and everything. I think once the video is released, and I'm hoping maybe Merrick Garland in the Justice Department will open up an investigation that's separate, because they're not going to press charges. But I think once the video is released, it will be interesting to see how this goes.
Can the mayor force the release of the full video?
I think the ruling was a couple weeks, which is like stupid, that it had to be released. The full thing could only be released no more than 45 days, but no less than 30 days. So we're coming up on it. I don't even know why they made that rule.
A shortened version of the video that showed the action that they were basically judging it upon, but the family and their attorney did not receive the full video. But even based off of that shortened one of them pulling off and justifying it as this person that Andrew was going to attack, and the counter argument is no, he was going to flee, and they're saying that because he had to, you know, back up and turn his car, which happened to be where police officers were, that was him making a dangerous, life-threatening play towards the officers. And instead of, as his lawyers are saying, like, no, he was just going to flee, like that was backing out and moving, because if not, you probably would have just rammed right through instead of trying to back up and move around. And just the details behind it, it's shitty. Like, as you mentioned, that we were on this mini upward trajectory of some justice happening, momentary justice at least, and going from there, and just to be, it's almost like we're being ping-ponged back and forth, progress regression, and in between that a bunch of other things that even play to our identities, with all of the laws that are like the anti-trans bills that are happening. Texas just passed that abortion bill. Like, fuck that. Yes. And you know, it's just, why is this all happening at once, and what are we doing? And we've been fighting for so long, and the narrative is clear, and it's crazy how much social media is heightening everything that could in turn hide, because we were only seeing, like, you know, the days where we used to sit and just watch the news. We weren't going online to see the news, or we weren't getting it firsthand from people. Now we're seeing it from so many different angles, and it's elevating the way that, oh shit, all of these people have always been here, and now they have a new platform to be able to elevate their hate and do all of this and continue to attack us. And we need to be able to, as a people, I mean, we're coming together, we're doing stuff, but when you have a whole group of people who have been traumatized for centuries, we need our allies to be here too, and to be fighting for us.
Period. Couldn't have said it better. So continue to fight, those listening, our allies listening, continue to fight, continue to speak up, because we're going to need your voices, and we begin tired, quite frankly. So, and I I don't know if I even want to see the video. Like, I hope they release it to the family and the appropriate people that need to see it. I can't watch that shit anymore. Like anytime it pops up, like on you scrolling in IG,
that's real.
I'm like, I can't watch this shit. Like
yeah.
Part of my brain's like, I want to watch it just to come to my own conclusion, or maybe. But the last few times, I'm like, I'm not gaining anything out of watching this. Like, I'm not literally. And it's just like, So we need some folks to help, some other people to watch it, some allies to watch it, and help us fight, because I'm not watching this shit.
Yeah, it's too much.
But tell us where our community can find you all on social. Where's your podcast? What days does it come out? That way they can make sure they tune in.
Yeah, absolutely. We are everywhere that you can listen to podcasts. You can search for us. Bad Queers should appear on all of that. I think our most popular ones are on Apple, Spotify, and Stitcher. So find us there. We are on all social media platforms at Bad Queers Pod. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. We're actually TikToking. The children are doing it. Oh my God. The children are doing the things. I'm over here trying to record videos. I'm just like, this is too much, but we are here and we're doing it. And just as well, if anybody ever wants to reach out, we also do an advice segment. So you can hit us at our email, badqueers@theherapp.com. And our new episodes come out every Monday.
Love it. We're going to have to have
listening because we're going to have these wonderful people on.
That's right.
Wait, so
yes.
It's over.
Yes, absolutely. Can't wait for that. And we're going to have you back, because I still have a lot of questions, and I just love your energy. So, but community, hopefully you're safe. Hopefully you're vaccinating. If not, hopefully you're going to Vegas and living it up without your mask.
That's your safe space.
Right.
Leave it there.
And yeah, let's have a great Pride. Let's continue to remember what Pride is for. As we kind of get into June. Yes, have your little cocktails, because I'm going to too. But there's a lot of shit we still need to fight and make sure our voice is heard out there. So wash your hands, wash your legs, wash your ass, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
She said,
I had to sneeze too. I was like, that is a word.
Sometimes
no,
like,
seriously,
felt
though.
away. Felt away.
No, for real. Yes. Wash all of those things. Like,
I felt that in my spirit.